Welcome to Steamboat! Wow, we hadn't been to Steamboat for a long time, and this is our third time here in the last 12 months. So really excited to be back in Steamboat. We finally got our IKON Pass, and so the really cool thing is when you get an IKON Pass for the next season, you get to start using it in spring. So we already went to Solitude, had an okay day at Solitude. Maybe it was just not the best day. It wasn't my favorite resort so far. Jiraiya and Tati went to Deer Valley. They said I would absolutely love it, but I was busy writing a parenting book that I was writing, so didn't get a chance to go check out Deer Valley yet. But we made it to Steamboat, and first stop is always Storm Peak Brewery. So we're gonna go grab a beer, and this week is gonna be pretty warm here in Steamboat, so I don't know what spring skiing conditions are gonna be like, but this video we're going to be telling you, so let's get to it.
Okay, so you've been on our channel probably for a long time, and you know we travel the world a lot. We love traveling, and now we love skiing a lot. But my mom had a new idea, because I want things. I want a lot of things, and she's not compliant with it. So we decided I'm going to take over YouTube. So I'm your new host, Jiraiya. If you're just new to the channel, we've been traveling in an RV for 8 years actually now. We just got into skiing like really a lot. I love skiing. It's like easily my favorite sport. And the reason I love skiing is that it's a lifestyle. You wake up every morning and you go and ski. And when you get back, you can watch TV, you can eat. You don't feel guilty about it. I love the lifestyle. Or downside about skiing, it's not great every time. Some days it's powder, but you don't got powder skis. Some days it's like today, it's slush. And that's why today I'm gonna teach you how to ski in these spring conditions. Because if you know the right tools, it can be awesome. Okay, so the biggest changes in terrain in spring are of course going to be the ice and slush. The ice will always take up the side of the run, so if you're going to be an off-trail person, it's not going to be great. There are ways you can bypass this and make it easier to ride the off-trail, but overall the ice is going to be early in the day and on the sides of the runs. The slush overall will come later in the day. It's going to take a while because early in the morning when the slush from last night melted and then froze again, the whole runs are going to be icy. So there's not much to do about that. Save start on the lower sides of the mountain and then work your way up.
All right, we are on the slopes at Winter Park. Spring skiing is not as glamorous as I hoped it was going to be. We spent the night, you can see here at the parking lot, Lot G at Winter Park. And you know, it's gonna be like a high of 54, 55 today, but it drops pretty darn cold last night. And we did not have, you don't have electricity. We did not have a heater going. So that was fun. So I don't know. I'm hoping today's a little bit better than the Steamboat was, because you'd be just cruising along and then you'd hit like an ice patch and then you'd hit the slush and you'd feel like you're gonna like wipe out every second. I look like the biggest kook ever, I feel like, in slush. I thought I was a bad skier to begin with, but now in slush, spring conditions, I'm like really pathetic. All right, here we go. And we're skiing with our friend Haley today. And Tati, Totster's ready? All right, let's get this.
Well, this isn't time of the video. That's tomorrow.
What are we doing?
It's interesting. We're on the Cabernet.
No, it's not wine. It's a cabriolet.
Cabernet.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was called a cabriolet. Okay, so Totster and I have resorted to finding the iciest greens possible. It's so much fun. At least then you don't have to brake. So, like, you could do the greens and they're pretty flat. But this area over here, do you remember what it's called?
Lonesome Whistle.
We're on, yeah, Lonesome Whistle, Lonesome Express. This is perfect. Victor's gonna love this part here.
Hey, to ski the spring conditions requires a little bit of technique. One thing you can do to try to make it more fun while you're in the slush is lean back into your calves. When you lean back into your calves, you have more pressure on the tails. In the tails, then there's so much pressure on just the smallest area of your skis. Therefore, you can go faster. Now, crowds in spring are a whole different thing. There are none. Like, the whole runs are to yourself. You can just soup all you want. Of course, I say be careful, because when you ski spring, you have to go faster. The faster you go, the more precarious the whole thing is. Now, as much as you do get the whole runs to yourself, if you want to ski off trail, the number one tip I'm going to give you is wheelies. So lean back into your calves and then lift your toes. That's the number one thing I would give you, because when you do that, you put all the pressure on those back wheels, I guess, but they're actually no tails, and then you get to carve forward more. Now, in the slush, it's hard. There's all these things to remember, I know. But one thing is, slush can have its cool things. Like, try new tricks in slush are awesome. I went for 540 and I failed, but it's super fun to just try in the sun. There's no pressure. Everyone's just having a good time. It's great. So I highly suggest that if these things spoke to you, you should definitely come and try spring skiing. Even if they didn't speak to you, you should try spring skiing just once.
So
realize how tanned
we're a little sunburned from yesterday at Ski and Winter Park. Yeah. What a great experience yesterday was, because drum roll please, Victor is now a skier. Did you see that? Did you see those videos yesterday?
That's
Victor,
so good. No, I'm horrible.
He's not horrible. He can ski with us. Like, I've been telling him for years that skiing is the best activity to do as a family, and he's like, oh gosh, really, skiing is the best? Come on, this is ridiculous. I'm not even a good skier. I don't even necessarily love skiing that much, but I love that we can do it as a family and that everybody can experience flow state. Everyone's like on their own journey going down the mountain, while simultaneously we're sharing an experience together. We get to get on the ski lift and talk. Like, it's just the best, I think. So yesterday, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I sort of discovered that yesterday, but I think this was my fourth day this season.
I don't know, Virgo, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, it does matter. But it was like really difficult the first day. You just feel like you're just going to accelerate too fast and die, and I'm in that snow plow. I'm in my pizza, and like my hips are hurting, my knees are hurting. and just kind of practiced that hockey stop yesterday, and it kind of made a world of a difference to go down a hill because I felt confident enough to slow myself down.
Yeah, but we don't want to talk about that. Like,
Sorry,
what
that
was
was
the emotional part of
super
it?
tech-
No, not the pizza.
emotional
the
part.
emotional
Ooh, the
part of it.
emotional
That's
part.
the important thing. Here's what happened. We are here. We met some friends of ours that also live in a van. That they have one daughter, and the husband was so nice to say, like, I'll ski with you, Victor. And so instead of Victor having to like ski with me and me say, you know what it's like between husbands and wives, and me saying, hey, you need to bring your heels together. Hey, you need to turn your head. Hey, you need to, all the lessons and the tips that no husband wants to hear from their wife. Instead, it was coming from another guy, and so it was received better. And I thought it was interesting because that's literally how Victor supports us as a family. He literally is that coach to everybody else, where he's like, hey, like, why don't you try this? He's supportive, he's nurturing, he's compassionate, he's just factual, like, hey, try this. And so Charlie got to be that for you yesterday, and because he came from somebody else, like another dude, and it wasn't from a nagging wife, it was received differently. And because it was received differently, like, he literally called me like, we're stuck at the base of Mary Jane. And I'm like, how did you get down Mary Jane? I'm like, did you walk down the hill? And he's like, no, I skied down it. What? Like, it's significantly steeper than the things we had skied in Steamboat the day before, when I was like, dude, just do this. He's like, no, I can't do this. It's not the point of that. The point is, it's how we receive information from the world. Like, maybe you need to hear something from me. Maybe you need to hear something from Victor. Maybe you need to hear something from Tony Robbins. It's who we're hearing these things from that make it impactful to us, or doesn't make it impactful for us.
Right. Really, there wasn't that much in the way of coaching, but because of like my desire and a few things that he had said that they're the same thing as you said, I'm like, I just gotta embrace it and go. And if I fall, I fall, and if I don't do it right, who cares? But it kind of, I think what you just said reminds me of the coaching thing we used to say to kids. Like, you have to say it 1,000 different ways before it resonates, and like, oh yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, I think a
Teach
lot
it
of it
by
was more
handspring.
just who it comes from makes all
Right.
the difference. And it's something that Victor and I struggle with in our own coaching, because sometimes we feel like, oh, our voice doesn't matter because all these other voices are saying it, and they're saying it louder, and they're saying it more eloquently, and they're saying it.
And they have all these things behind their name.
And in the end, I'm like, well, somebody maybe needs to hear it from me, and somebody maybe needs to hear it from Victor. And it really doesn't matter who you need to hear it from. What matters is if you're listening to your own voice in your head telling you that there's something you want. Like, Victor probably had to realize at one point that he's like, wait, there's a voice in my head that says, I want to be included in skiing with my family. Therefore, if you hear a voice in your head that's the voice of desire, you have to act upon it. And whether you need to hear it from us or hear it from somebody else, or maybe it's your health. Maybe there's a voice that's saying, like, you know what, enough's enough. I'm tired of not being healthy. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a voice in your head that you have to listen to and find somebody who resonates with you. One of the cool things yesterday about, though, we all, because of that, because Charlie instilled all his confidence in Victor, we went to the top of the peak, from the base of Mary Jane all the way to the top of the summit at 12,000 feet. And we all skied down. It was like, how many mile run? It's like a 4-mile run, it seems like. Right? It took us an hour and 40 minutes to go from the bottom, get to the top, and ski back down to the bottom. That's how long of a run it was. And I don't know, I just kept thinking, like, this is the most amazing thing, to be able to all 7 of us be doing this together. And
Yet still kind of have an individual experience. Now, one thing before that moment, the only thing I could point to was trying to surf or even rock climb together, but that's different. When you go surf, you catch a wave and you're like, yeah, stoked for that person, but rarely are you on. What's up?
up and down. That's a wrap for Winter Park. Gotta just say, love my Woolx leggings. They are so soft and so comfy. I think these are great. And in fact, if it had been just a little bit warmer, I would have skied in just these today and bailed on the ski pants, but I didn't because I just didn't want to be cold. It's nice to be warm. It's also nice that when it's this warm, that they're not too hot. It's like they keep you at the perfect temperature.
This is so amazing.